Hi, welcome to Bedtime Movie Recap. Today we're going to recap a horror thriller movie called The Grudge, so get yourself comfortable and enjoy. The film opens on a man, Peter Kirk, an American college professor in Japan's capital. One morning, he is standing on his high-rise balcony with a troubled look on his face. His wife, Maria, looks at him from inside their apartment and asks him what's wrong. Without any word or hesitation, he flings himself over the balcony, committing suicide. As a shocked Maria looks on, Matthew Williams, his wife Jennifer, and his ailing mother Emma move into the Seki house. Jennifer is unhappy with her life in Japan. She is unable to speak the language and has gotten lost once on a walk. Matthew assures her things will improve, and that if they don't, the family will return to the United States. Jennifer falls asleep on a couch in the living room. The sound of her bowl hitting the floor awakens her, and she discovers the bowl on the floor, the contents strewn everywhere. She scolds Emma for making the mess, but sees a trail of wet child's footprints leading out to the hall. She sees a cat on the landing of the stairs and sees a pair of white arms gently pick it up. She continues upstairs and enters her bedroom. The door closes behind her. Matthew returns from work and finds the house in complete disarray with trash strewn everywhere. He calls out to his wife, who doesn't answer. He finally finds her on the bed, unable to move or speak and struggling to breathe. Before he can call an ambulance, he is startled by the sudden appearance of a young boy making a cat sound named Toshio. He backs up against the closet as Toshio appears suddenly over his head. Later, Susan, Matthew's sister, is preparing to leave the office after attempting to call. Susan increasingly becomes concerned from not being able to reach Matthew. She starts to leave her office building, but she is stopped by the sound of moaning coming from the hallway. She quickly exits to the stairs, but is frightened when the lights start to flicker and shatter. Susan looks over the railing to see Kayako's ghost crawling up the stairs. Susan flees to the closest hallway, but Kayako grabs her cell phone charm and pulls it off. Susan goes to the security office, seeking help. There, the security guard promises to check it out. Susan watches the monitor as the security guard investigates. However, he finds nothing and leaves. Then the lights flicker and Kayako's ghost rises up out of the shadows in the hallway and walks toward the security camera. Susan runs. Susan takes a taxi cab back to her apartment. She enters an elevator, and it ascends several floors. Susan does not notice, however, that Toshio is standing outside each set of elevator doors she passes, getting progressively closer with each passing floor. Susan makes it safely inside when her phone rings. It is Matthew claiming to have forgotten her apartment number and asking to be buzzed inside. She tells him where to find her and activates the buzzer with the phone. The doorbell rings immediately after she hangs up. Thinking Matthew could not possibly have had time to arrive, she checks the peephole of the door, shocked to find it is Matthew. Susan believes he is pranking her. She angrily throws open the door, but no one is there. The death rattle emanates loudly through the phone in Susan's hand. She drops and breaks the phone, yet the rattle can still be heard. Cowering in the bed, Susan reaches beneath the covers and pulls out the rabbit's foot phone charm from her phone and drops it in fear. A lump billows from underneath the covers and moves toward Susan. She lifts the sheets. Seeing Kayako's face, she is abruptly pulled under and both disappear. Yoko is a girl whose work is to take care of Emma and clean the house. While picking up trash on the floor and stairs, she hears someone walking around up in the attic. Following the noise, Yoko enters a closet in the bedroom and sees a small door in the ceiling, which leads to the attic. Using a lighter, Yoko sticks her head up through the door and slowly turns around, looking for the source of the sound. She eventually comes face to face with Kayako, who attacks her and pulls her up into the attic. Karen Davis is then called into work at the house and care for Emma after Yoko disappears. While working, Karen finds a closet that has been taped shut with cat-like noises coming from it. When she rips off the tape and opens the door, she finds a little boy. The boy refuses to come downstairs, so she asks him for his name, Toshio. He says in a monotone, eerie voice. Emma begins stirring and muttering in the other room. As Karen calms her, a dark shadow of hair emerges from a corner of the room, terrifying Emma. Karen looks up to see Kayako reaching for Emma. Kayako's hair, which was covering her face, flies back to reveal the whites of her eyes. The irises roll into place and focus on Karen as she backs away in fright. Alex, Karen's boss, finally arrives to find Emma unconscious and Karen in a state of shock. Karen is taken to the hospital while detectives question Alex. Detective Nakagawa asks Alex about the people that live there and tell him that Yoko has been missing from work. The detectives notice that the phone handset is missing from the cradle and push the page button. They trace the sounds to the attic where they discover the corpses of Matthew and his wife. They also make a grisly discovery of a human jaw and wonder to whom it belongs and where the rest of the body might be. Later, Yoko is spotted again by Alex as she is shuffling down the stairs of the caretaking facility where Alex, Karen, and Yoko work. As he is walking towards her, he accidentally slips on a liquid, which he discovers is blood when he touches it. Alex calls to Yoko, who does not answer in any way until he reaches the bottom of the stairs. She then turns around to reveal her face as Alex screams in horror and dies. Her face is shown to now be horribly disfigured, missing her lower jaw and with her tongue hanging out. While the screen fades to black, Karen tells her story to detectives, emphasizing the appearance of a boy. Over the next few days, she is constantly tormented by Kayako. Frightened but determined, she starts researching the history of the house on the internet. Eventually, she learns of the murders from the website of a Japanese newspaper. On the same page, she also comes across the news of the death of the American professor, Dr. Peter Kirk. She now decides to learn the entire history from Dr. Kirk's widow, Maria Kirk. Detective Nakagawa becomes convinced that the rash of deaths and missing people is connected to the house when he views the entire security video taken at Susan's office building. He watches as Kayako proceeds down the hall, then comes face to face with the camera as the video fuzzes out. He then returns to the Seki house with 2 cans of gasoline. He is distracted by the sound of Toshio drowning in the bathtub. He enters and finds a boy hanging out of the tub and tries to revive him. His eyes snap open and Takeo appears behind him. Nakagawa only has time to turn around before Takeo shoves him into the bathtub and drowns him like Toshio. Karen questions Maria Kirk, Peter's widow, who does not appear to know anything about the house, its occupants, or why her husband committed suicide. She allows Karen to search through old photos. Karen discovers a living Kayako in the background of every photograph, clearly following the couple. Karen then attempts to go talk with her boyfriend, Doug, at their apartment. However, she discovers he has gone looking for her at the house after seeing her research. Karen then returns to the house in search of Doug. Inside the house, Karen experiences a flashback of Peter's visit. It is revealed that Kayako had fallen in love with him. Kayako's husband, Takeo, discovered her obsession and in a fit of rage, murdered her and their son, Toshio. This is the strain, the grudge of the house. Karen's flashback shows Peter discovering their bodies at the house. Overwhelmed by the brutality of Takeo's murder of Kayako, Karen staggers downstairs and the house returns to the present time. Doug grabs her ankle before she leaves. He is incapacitated and she tries to drag him to the door. A door opens upstairs. Kayako crawls down the stairs toward them and gives Doug the kiss of death. Karen opens the door, but Kayako's ghost is suddenly there. She slams the door and kicks over one of the gas cans. She takes Doug's lighter and tosses it onto the gas as Doug suddenly becomes Kayako. The screen goes white. At the hospital, Karen learns that the house was saved from burning and mourns Doug's dead body. Suddenly, Kayako's hair and arm comes beneath the sheet that covers him, but Karen realizes that it's just her imagination. Kayako then appears behind Karen as Kayako utters her death rattle. The movie ends with an eye shot of her. Thanks for watching Bedtime Recaps. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more movies. Good night.